Hmm.
I'm Devin, and this is episode 1 of my video log series. I'm going to be doing a lot of these throughout the year for a project for my science class. And this episode, we are going to talk about Newton's three laws. Now, his first law is called inertia. And pretty much what that is that an object will keep on doing what it is already doing until acted upon by an unbalanced force. Now, for example, if I had a super flat surface with no friction whatsoever, and I rolled a marble across it, it will continue to roll the same speed forever. Now, if I were to put a wall at the end of this platform, then that's the unbalanced force, and that will stop the ball. So that's the unbalanced force that comes into play in this definition. And so Newton's second law is commonly misunderstood as force is equal to mass times acceleration. Now, that can be true, but that's not the true law. The true law was that acceleration is equal to force divided by mass. Now, the force is equal to ma is commonly misinterpreted because it's true, but that's not the true law, because that's a rearranging of the equation originally written by Newton. Now, his third law is that one law that many people say that they know because they believe that it's for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Now, I don't really like that definition because it's really misleading. Many people would think that, oh, if you hit a soccer ball, then the opposite reaction is the soccer ball going flying. Now, that's not the case. The opposite reaction is the amount of force the soccer ball puts on your foot, because you're putting force on the soccer ball and the soccer ball's putting force back. Now, the reason you don't go flying and the soccer ball does is because you have more mass. Now, Newton discovered two things: that force and acceleration are proportional. Now, what that means is that if the force goes up, the acceleration goes up. Simple as that. That is why when you kick a ball really as hard as you can, you're putting a lot of force, and that's why it goes farther. If you put a little bit amount of force, it goes slower. And he also discovered that mass and acceleration are inversely proportional. And what that means is that if mass goes up, acceleration goes down, and vice versa. Now, for example, if you were to kick a bowling ball, which I do not recommend doing, by the way, I am not condoning that. That is not a good idea. Kids, don't try that at home. But if you kick a bowling ball, it will roll. It'll hurt it really bad, but it will roll, and you still won't go flying because you still have more mass, but it won't go flying like the soccer ball because it has more mass than the soccer ball. And that is because the amount of mass is higher, therefore the amount of acceleration is lower, regardless of the amount of force you put in. That law, that statement, more likely, is always going to be true. So those are Newton's three laws, and remember that those three laws pertain to every single object in the universe. So if you don't go try and breaking these three laws, because you're gonna have a really bad time. Okay, that's just a complete waste of time because it's not gonna happen. Okay, and so bye guys. I'll see you next time on episode 2.